Well, hello, this is Ricky Tucker with EXP Realty, and I'm so excited to have David Harbour with me here today. Hey, David, thanks for joining me this morning.
Hey, my pleasure, Ricky, and that's a great intro. I love that.
Yes, it worked on it, a little bit of the past, present, and we're working on the future right here in our conversation today, I think, aren't we?
Yeah, oh yeah, always, always.
Yeah, well, for those of you who don't know David Harbour, David lives in Leesburg, Virginia, and he's been with EXP Realty for 11 years. He was actually the founding state broker for EXP Realty in the state of Virginia, and he's also an ex-NFL football player who had played for the Washington Redskins. Dave, why don't you tell us how long you've been in real estate and tell us a little bit about your journey?
Yeah, so gosh, it's been, I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's actually been 24 years that I've been in real estate, Rick.
Uh,
Um, you had mentioned that I played a little football, went to school at the University of Illinois, graduated, and by the grace of God, I had the opportunity to sign a free agent contract with the Washington Redskins, and played with them a few years. Played in London with the World League of American Football for a
mhm.
couple of years, won a championship there, and then had one last shot with the Steelers, and then I was done. I got into actually sports in the sense that I worked for the NBA and NHL for 5 years, right after the NFL, which was really fun to do. And it was just at that time that I was going to go down to head up the Orlando Magic group. And I just realized I didn't want to have a boss ever again. And I got into real estate, and that was 24 years ago.
Really, 24 years ago. So tell us about the journey in real estate. What's your past, present?
Yeah, so I started out. There's a company here on the East Coast, Weichert. Started with them, and after 1 year, realized that they took way too much of my money, and so I immediately jumped over to Remax, and I was at 100%. And I bled red and blue and loved the balloon company, and I was there for 12 wonderful years. And I really really enjoyed my time. I had a team of agents. I was lucky enough to be on HGTV on a show called Get It Sold a number
Mhm.
of times with Sabrina Soto, and so life was good. What wasn't looking over the fence until a friend of mine, Tom Somerville, thank you,
Mhm.
Tom, I'm indebted to you, said,
Mhm.
"Hey, I'm leaving Remax. I'm going with this company. You better check them out. I think they're the next big thing in real estate." That was 11 years ago.
Wow, wow. And the journey with EXP's been as advertised, hasn't it? How did it actually EXP, kind of change that strategy? The dream was playing professional sports and nest egging enough money to retire and ride off into the sunset. But I think EXP's actually provided a little bit more for the retirement. How has that changed your retirement strategy?
Well, it's funny. Real estate agents pride themselves on being entrepreneurs and being smart, and you know, but what we don't ask ourselves the question is, what is the business model that I'm currently in? We get too wrapped up in the colors and the logo and what kind of office we have, but we don't know the business model. And
Hmm.
I was guilty of that. And then Tom asked me these questions, and I share them with everybody that I'm telling about EXP. He said, "Do you have any equity ownership in that brokerage that you're helping build?" And I
Hmm.
said, "No." He goes, "Are you sharing in the monthly revenues? Do you have the opportunity to share in the revenues?" And I was like, "No."
Hmm.
And then he said, "Well, do you have any type of retirement plan other than your own 401k? Is that company helping you?" And I felt stupid, and I said, "No." And so that's where the wheels started turning of maybe I need to take a better look at this.
Hmm. Hmm. Yes, so true, so true. And you didn't have ownership in any of those NFL franchises, did you? But EXP is not a franchise; it's one national company traded on Nasdaq. So now you've got equity awards, and the stock ownership has made an impact and made it capable for you to coach your kids' baseball teams and have the freedom to sell real estate, but be available to spend time with your family. How has that impacted your life, your family life, and personal life?
You know, it, it the best thing that I can say, Rick, is that anytime I see our founder, Glenn Sanford, I just want to go up and give him a hug and thank
Mhm.
him for literally changing the course of my life and my family's life.
Mhm.
It's you hear this word freedom a lot, but this company has allowed those agents that have come on board and embraced it to open up a door of freedom that they didn't have before with stock and revenue share. And so, needless to say, it is, changed my life and my family's life. As you mentioned, I have two boys. I got a baseball glove right here. I'm
Right.
coaching both of their teams, and it's 7 days a week. I could have never, I would never have been able to do that if I was at my traditional brokerage.
Mhm.
Never been able to do that. And so, to me, that is our most precious asset is time. And this company has allowed us to really take back that time.
But you like we mentioned earlier, you've been with the company 11 years. I've been with the company 7 years. And some agents who are looking at the model or considering it think they've missed the boat or they've missed the early adopter benefit. How do you feel, or how do you speak to that?
Yeah, I hear that a lot, and my response would be, we're just getting started. I, actually, I can tell you that my first 5 years, it was difficult to get people to listen to this cloud-based brokerage. We weren't publicly traded. We didn't have, conversion websites. And so, I remember I was on the board of directors for our local association, and I when I came over, everybody probably looked down at the conference table and said, "What in the world did you do? You just, tank your career."
Hmm.
This company is a household name now. It's
Correct.
a proven, more than proven commodity.
Hmm.
And so, although we're at, I don't know how many agents now, 65,000 agents, the projection is hundreds of thousands of agents will be on board in the next 5 years. So you're not too late by any means.
Well, I don't know if you've heard quite a few of the top producing, top teams, top influencers in the company have thrown out some bold predictions of 1 million agents in 100 countries in 10 years. And I think that's very conceivable because we're now in 18 countries. EXP Realty is in over 18 countries and an opening 5 or 10 a year, adding roughly around 800 agents per week. 5 to 800 agents per week are joining EXP Realty. And I think it's easier now than it was then. Correct. The stock price, we're at $51 today. The stock awards are still as good as they were. It's the same stock awards that we've always gotten. So you haven't missed the boat on the stock. I don't think anyone's missed the boat on being able to build a large organization or build up some equity in the company. And that's some phenomenal opportunities that people have right now, even better than it was when we joined years ago.
Yeah, two things jump out at me, Rick, is that since I've been on board here 11 years ago, and we were, I was one of the early adapters, uh, everything that Glenn and the management company, the group has said we're going to do, they've achieved, and then some. So, I mean, I'm a firm believer. After 11 years, if they think that they're going to do it, I have all the confidence in the world that it's going to happen. That's the first thing. The
Right.
second thing is, um, let's put the stock and the rev share aside. This company will help you excel your business, unlike any other brokerage. Case in point, when I was at my previous balloon company, when I went to those company meetings, nobody wanted to help me with my business. Nobody was really wanting to share all their secrets. Here, the business model is literally turned upside down, and it's
Correct.
empowered us as agents, and it's really kind of created the environment that agents want to help agents.
Hmm.
And so that's a whole nother thing that we really probably don't emphasize enough. But I tell people all the time, I'm doing the exact same thing that you're doing. It's just that I'm getting compensated in stock and I have the opportunity to share in the revenue. Why wouldn't you do it? I'm doing the
Right.
exact same thing, but I get those two other opportunities that you don't have.
Right, right. And I'm glad you touched on that point. In fact, eXp Realty offers 50 hours of trainings and meetings per week, probably 30 plus hours on sales, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, Facebook, how to blog, how to work CRM systems. And these classes are taught by some of the top agents across the nation, top coaches, top brokers. We've got some of the best actually teaching these classes. And why? Because they like to give back. They like to, take part and help the stock price increase by doing that. And one of the things I wanted you to touch on a little bit, because you are real great at bomb and videos, if you would talk to kind of how video helps to increase agent sales, how does it help your business, or some points and tips to a few agents you can throw out to help them increase their business through video. Could you talk to that for us for a minute?
Yeah. So I don't know whether it was because I was cheap or what, but like 14 years ago, I met a guy by the name of Perry Lawrence. Hey, Perry, who introduced me to video. And he explained it two ways. One is it doesn't have a shelf life. When you create a video, it's out there for a long, long time. Hopefully they're good videos and not like Cancun videos. And print marketing usually ends up in the garbage can somewhere at the bottom of a bird cage. So that was the first thing. The second thing is that it really kind of gets your personality across and lets you connect with people, buyers, sellers, and other agents very quickly. So yeah, I started doing, videos at a very early stage. I've been a BombBomb ambassador, which for those of you who don't know is video email right out of your Gmail. Super easy. I hate typing. I've got, broken all my fingers from football. So it's really, really easy to do. And there's so many different things that you can do with it.
Good. Well, is there anything else you want to cover before we close? We've about covered the time. I just wanted to introduce you out there to the world for those who didn't know David Harbour, and let them know how EXP has changed your life and impacted your life by being associated with it. So you want to give any closing comments here, Dave?
Wow, you're kicking me off early. I thought we'd be on for a while, huh?
Got to keep it short and sweet. We don't want to bore the viewers out there. We're going to keep it to 15 minutes, and that's where we've got it at today.
The only thing that I could say in closing here is this was the best decision I ever made for my business, for my family. And if you've heard about it, I'll guarantee if you aren't here, you probably haven't heard everything about the company. Take your time and at least know what it is that you're turning down, because I at the end of the day, if there was a better business model, I would go there. But I can't fathom anybody offering what EXP offers, and the type of culture, the type of collaboration, the type of tools, training, everything across the board. I've been here 11 years. I couldn't be more excited today than I was when I joined 11 years ago. So, the financial freedom, that's wonderful, but also getting up and going, man, I really, really am excited about this company. I have ownership in it. That makes me even more excited.
Right. So as David mentioned, if you've been approached to take a look at EXP and you haven't been open-minded to take a look at it, to at least know what you're saying no to, go ahead and log on to exploreourmodel.info. There's a couple of videos there. You can watch it in a very private way. And if you have any more questions about that, reach out to myself or David Harbour, and we'd love to introduce the model to you. Hey, Dave, thanks for joining me today, and look forward to spending some time with you at EXPCon in Vegas in a couple of months.
Love you, Rick.
Love
Doing
you
great
too.
things. Yep.
Thank you, Dave.